Yeah, so it's Armistice Day today. You know, the irony of having an Armistice Day when the West is engaged in illegal occupations in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as meddling in various other countries around the world. It's kind of sick, really. And, you know, I'm going to get people coming on the comments section, uh, slagging me off, whatever. Oh, you just sit there, hide behind your shades and woolly hat. Yeah, you need some new lines. I've heard that one before. It's getting a bit old now. Oh, you just sit there behind your shades and your woolly hat. Why don't you get out and fight there? You wouldn't be brave enough to go out and fight there. No, it's nothing to do with bravery. I wouldn't be stupid enough to join the military, and I wouldn't be stupid enough to go and fight in Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, I'm against the military as a whole. I mean, I can't understand why anyone would want to join an organisation which basically kills people. That's what you're trained to do, kill people. I mean, you have to question why somebody would want to devote their life to doing that. And of course, people are going to say, oh, they want to defend the country. But, you know, this country, or Britain, hasn't been under attack since the Second World War. And, you know, let me be clear, I make a difference between the people who died in the Second World War and the people who are fighting in the wars now. You know, obviously, back then, we had conscription, and there was, you know, a genuine threat from Adolf Hitler and stuff like this. But anyone fighting in these wars, I mean, yeah, these brave boys and girls, they should do the really brave thing and stop shooting and blowing up brown people in foreign countries and put down the weapons and leave the military. You know, I've really got very little patience left with the armed forces and the people who serve in them. You know, a lot of people say a lot of these people fighting over there, they don't really know what's going on. Well, I mean, that's, as I've said in other videos, you know, that's not really an excuse anymore. It's quite easy to do research into the real agenda behind the wars. These people have families and friends who could tell them about things, but that doesn't happen because these people think they're doing a good thing. And there's a lot of people fighting in the military who, you know, don't even care about it, I reckon. Even if you told them about this agenda, this imperial agenda, you know, they wouldn't care because they're just there to, you know, for the excitement of war, basically. It's just sick, really. So, yeah, I don't support the troops. I don't support the people who sent the troops there. I don't support the people who support the troops. You know, these idiots back home who just blindly buy all the propaganda. I saw an absolutely ridiculous piece of propaganda on the BBC, naturally, yesterday. It was all about, yeah, the soldiers who died in war, and it was intercutting scenes from Afghanistan with interviews with people from the Second World War. So it was a real propaganda piece. It had soldiers who'd been terribly injured in the Second World War, who'd been burnt and stuff like that. The first people who'd had plastic surgery, basically. So you'll have an interview with one of these fighters from the Second World War, who I haven't got a problem with because, as I said, you know, they were fighting fascism, and a lot of them were conscripted as well. But then you had that, and then following it you had these images from Afghanistan. You had the soldiers talking about the brave things that they get up to. There was an interview with some army guy about the first Gulf War, and that was just outrageous. This guy was going on about how we'd got involved in the first Gulf War because we had to stop Iraq from bullying Kuwait. That was the reason he gave. And of course this went completely unchallenged. It was an absolutely biased piece of pure propaganda from the BBC. So yeah, I mean, it's fine to remember the dead from the past, from people who fought in just wars. But this, glorification of the military, I've really got no time for. I've got no time for the current wars that are going on. It's just time for the military industrial government complex to call an armistice. But are they going to do that? No, of course not, because they wouldn't make the money and they wouldn't extend their power around the globe. That's it for me today. Cheers.